The voice came like music carried on wind from a realm beyond the edge of the sky. Finally, you found this, it said. You were meant to. The moment you opened your eyes today, the heavens stirred, for your name had been spoken among the radiant host. A door has opened in the unseen world, and light streams through it. Come closer, child of earth, because something extraordinary is unfolding. I, Michael, guardian of the threshold, am preparing for a wedding unlike any that has ever taken place, and you are invited. You must come, no matter what. Leave behind your worries, your clocks, your burdens that keep you measuring minutes. 5 minutes remain, but they are not minutes of ordinary time. They are breaths of eternity waiting to unfold. As you listen, the air itself begins to shimmer. You can almost hear the tremor of wings, countless wings, spreading across the expanse of heaven. Trumpets made of light sound in the far distance. What you thought was thunder is joy echoing from one horizon of creation to the other. In this vision, you stand at the border between worlds. The ground under your feet seems both familiar and strange. Flowers you've never seen open in colors that have no name. Rivers run not with water but with silver fire, and each spark that leaps from them carries a whisper of blessing. You feel it touch your hands, your face, your heart. You have been summoned to witness something that words can barely hold, a marriage that is not merely between beings, but between heaven and hope, between the divine and the redeemed. Michael appears, not as a distant figure of flame and sword, but as light shaped into gentleness. His eyes carry the reflection of galaxies, yet his smile feels close and human. You heard me, he says, his voice a melody of courage. You heard the call that so many missed because they were busy chasing noise instead of listening for love. You are here, and that means the promise of heaven is awake within you. He extends his hand, and when you take it, you feel neither fear nor weight, only a current of peace. Around you, thousands of angels gather, their garments like woven dawn. Each one hums a tone that becomes part of a vast harmony. And in that harmony you realize what this wedding truly means. It is the joining of realms, the reconciliation of what was broken, the renewal of all that was forgotten. Michael is not marrying in the human sense, he is presiding over the union of faith and fulfillment, of promise and presence. The altar stands at the heart of heaven's garden. It is carved not from stone but from light itself, living and breathing. Upon it lies a crown shaped from tears turned into crystal. Every tear ever shed in faith has been gathered and transformed into beauty. These, Michael says softly, are the gifts of those who believed when they saw nothing. Tonight, they will shine upon the bride and groom, symbols of the union between divine mercy and human trust. He gestures toward the horizon where two great lights approach, one golden, one silver. As they draw near, they weave around each other like strands of music. You understand that they are the embodiment of love and truth, meeting at last without shadow between them. The angels bow, the stars themselves seem to bend low, and you feel your heart swell until it can barely hold the wonder. You are not an observer, you are part of this moment. Every act of kindness you ever gave, every prayer you whispered when you thought no one heard, has brought you here. Michael turns to you again. This, he says, is why you had to come. The world below is trembling, divided, hungry for meaning. But tonight heaven renews its vow to protect it. Each human heart that still chooses compassion over bitterness is a lamp that keeps the darkness from swallowing the earth. You, child of dust and breath, are one of those lamps. I chose you to witness this so that you would remember your light and never again think it small. As he speaks, music gathers around you, not from instruments but from creation itself. Every bird, every breeze, every heartbeat contributes a note. You realize that heaven's celebration is not separate from the world you know. It is within it, waiting to be heard beneath the noise of ordinary days. You stand at the intersection of eternity and time, and for one heartbeat you understand how near the divine has always been. The music swells until it fills every breath. It is both thunder and whisper, the sound of joy made visible. The sky ripples like silk, and colors pour from it, rose, amber, silver, gold, flowing into each other as if the heavens themselves are exhaling light. Michael lifts his hand, and silence descends, not heavy but holy. In that silence you can hear your own heart beating in rhythm with the universe. Do you feel it? He asks softly. This is what unity sounds like. Every creature, every star, every grain of dust singing the same name, love. His eyes shine brighter than suns. This wedding is the covenant of creation remembering its source. Love and truth stand before the throne. And every soul willing to listen is invited. The golden and silver lights merge at the altar, forming a brilliance so pure it feels like breathing for the first time. Out of that radiant step two figures robed in the glow of dawn, one radiant as morning, one calm as twilight. When they join hands, every angel bows. Michael bows too, not in sorrow or awe alone, but in gladness. They are the promise fulfilled, he murmurs. The union of what was divided, spirit and form, heaven and earth, the unseen and the seen. You realize the wedding is not something apart from you, it is happening within you. The walls between your fears and your faith begin to fall away. Every hurt softens. Every guarded thought loosens, every forgotten dream lifts its head. You understand that this ceremony is the moment when heaven reclaims what pain tried to steal. It is the renewal of hope inside every living heart. Michael turns again, his armor glinting like liquid dawn. Tell them, he says. When you return to the waking world, tell them that heaven is not a far country. It is here, waiting to be recognized. The sound of laughter shared without cruelty, the forgiveness that heals without condition, the courage to love again, these are the first notes of the song you hear now. His voice trembles with emotion, and for a second you sense the great tenderness behind his strength. A procession of angels passes, carrying wreaths woven from light. They scatter them into the air, and where the petals fall, new stars are born. The fragrance is memory itself, the scent of every good moment you ever lived, every kind word you ever heard. You breathe it in, and your soul expands like a sail filled by a divine wind. Then the choir of the seraphim begins to sing. Their harmonies are made of time and eternity intertwined, and you feel your body dissolve into sound. Every heartbeat becomes a drum of creation, every tear a note in the melody. The union of love and truth becomes light too bright for eyes to hold, yet it does not blind, it awakens. You see faces from your life, those you loved, those you forgave, even those who hurt you, all bathed in the same radiance. Michael's voice returns, clear as a bell across eternity. Now you know why you had to come. The wedding is not mine alone, it is ours. Heaven marries humanity today, promising again never to abandon its creation. The vow has been spoken, to guide, to heal, to bring every soul home. He steps closer and places his hand over your heart. Carry this light, he whispers. Whenever you doubt, remember this day. Remember the song that began before time and will never end. You were chosen to witness it so you could remind others that love always wins. The light around you deepens into gold, then softens into the gentle blue of dawn. The music fades, leaving a silence full of peace. You realize that the 5 minutes of heaven's time have stretched into forever. When you open your eyes, the ordinary world returns, but it is not ordinary anymore. Everything hums faintly with the same sacred rhythm, and in that moment, you understand, you did attend the wedding. You did stand among archangels. You did witness God's joy. The invitation was not a command, it was a reminder. Every act of kindness you perform, every moment you choose hope over despair, is another step into that eternal celebration still unfolding beyond sight. When the colors of the sky settle, you stand among the quiet echoes of that celebration. The air feels alive, almost breathing with you. You can still taste the sweetness of the light, hear the distant hum of the choir, sense the warmth of wings brushing through air that is no longer quite air but the living thought of love itself. Everything glows. Michael's presence lingers beside you like the calm after music. He speaks again, his voice softer now, carrying the weight of peace. What you have seen will never fade. It will hide inside every dawn you wake to, every smile you give, every act of compassion that seems small but moves mountains unseen. The wedding continues each time a heart forgives another. Each time courage returns to someone who thought it lost, heaven rejoices again. You look around and notice the angels walking through fields of light, gathering the petals that still drift from the sky. They place them into vessels shaped like hearts. Michael watches them and says, "These are the blessings for the world below." Every soul will receive one, though most will not recognize it when it arrives. It may come as an unexpected kindness, as laughter after tears, as a door opening where walls once stood. But each carries the same essence you felt here tonight. A breeze moves through the garden, carrying voices of promise. The golden and silver lights at the altar rise higher, blending into the firmament until they become a single star burning with quiet joy. That star, Michael says, pointing upward, will shine over you even when clouds hide it from your eyes. It is the sign of renewal. Whenever despair tempts you to give up, look for its light in someone's kindness or in your own breath of gratitude. That is where heaven touches earth. You feel tears on your face, but they are gentle, born of wonder, not sorrow. Michael notices and smiles. Those tears are holy water, he tells you. They carry the memory of what you witnessed. When they fall to the earth, they will bless whatever they touch. You let them fall freely, knowing they belong to something greater than words. He places something in your hands, a small fragment of light, cool and weightless. Take this with you, he says. It is a reminder that you belong to both worlds. When you walk among people, speak kindness. When you meet fear, bring calm. When you encounter division, sow understanding. That is how you attend the wedding again and again, long after this vision fades. You look down at the fragment, and within it, you see reflections of faces, friends, strangers, even those you have not yet met. The light flickers in rhythm with your heartbeat. You realize it is alive, and that it responds to love. Every time you choose compassion, it glows brighter. Every time you hold bitterness, it dims. It is the living covenant you were invited to witness. Michael steps back, his wings unfolding. The horizon behind him blazes with dawn. It is time, he says. Return now, but remember, heaven has married the world, and nothing can undo that bond. The next time you see injustice, know that truth stands beside you. The next time you face darkness, know that light has already claimed the final word. Go in peace, child of the promise. The wedding never ends. You close your eyes. The sound of wings fades into the rustle of wind through leaves. The scent of the celestial garden becomes the morning air in your own room. Yet something within you has changed. The space between your heartbeats is filled with a soft radiance. When you move, you carry the echo of that music, the vow of heaven beating quietly within your soul. You awaken slowly, as though surfacing from a sea made of light. The ordinary world is waiting, the hum of distant traffic, the pale morning spilling through your window, the pulse of your own quiet breath. Yet the air feels changed, threaded with gold you can almost see. Somewhere deep inside, the voice of Michael still echoes, not loud, but steady, like a heartbeat beneath silence, you rise and move through your home. Everything ordinary has become luminous. The table gleams faintly as if it remembers starlight. The cup in your hands is warm with gratitude. Even the smallest sounds, the creak of a floorboard, the sigh of wind, hum with meaning. The wedding did not end, it merely shifted into this world. You carry its light in your chest, and the world recognizes it without words. When you step outside, the morning greets you differently. A stranger passes and smiles, and you feel the same current that moved through the choir of angels, that same unity, quiet but unbroken. You whisper a blessing you did not know you remembered. The fragment of light Michael placed in your hand seems to pulse once, gently, as though it approves. You realize that this is what he meant, that heaven is not a far place, but a nearness waiting to be noticed, later, when doubts return, because they will. As shadows return when the sun moves, you pause and close your eyes. In the space behind your eyelids you see again that garden of light, the silver rivers, the altar carved from living radiance, and the star rising above it all. You breathe, and the distance between the worlds disappears. The vow you heard spoken there beats quietly within your ribs. Love will not abandon you. Light will not fade, so you walk onward. Some days the fragment in your heart burns bright, and some days it flickers, but it never goes out. You learn to speak gently, to listen longer, to forgive sooner. You discover that every act of kindness is a door, and through those doors the wedding continues, one heartbeat at a time. You understand now what Michael meant when he said, "Come, no matter what." It was never about leaving your life behind. It was about finding heaven woven through it. As night falls, you look up at the first star, and you remember its promise. Somewhere, in that endless light, the archangels are still singing, and Michael still smiles, his sword sheathed, his wings folded in peace. The great union of love and truth still radiates across creation, touching every soul that dares to hope. You whisper thank you, not because you left heaven, but because you found it again in the beating of your own heart, and the sky, vast and alive, whispers back, "You did come. You are here." The wedding never ends. That night, when the world grows still and only the hush of stars remains, you feel the nearness of wings again. Not a sound, not a vision, only a knowing, deep and quiet. It hums beneath your ribs, gentle as a lullaby. You understand then that heaven never truly leaves. It walks beside you in every act of grace, in every moment you choose patience over anger, faith over fear. The marriage you witnessed was not a single event, it was the binding of eternity to every breath you take. As you lie beneath the sky, your thoughts drift upward. You imagine Michael standing where dawn meets darkness, watching over creation with calm resolve. You can almost hear him whisper, "Keep the light alive." You promise you will, not through grand gestures, but through kindnesses so small that only heaven may notice. And yet those small sparks will become constellations across the world. You realize that this is the true invitation, not simply to attend a wedding, but to live as one who remembers it. Time passes differently now. Days still bring their ordinary troubles, yet you walk through them with a strange, steady peace. When others lose hope, you lend them some of yours. When fear speaks loudly, you listen for the quieter truth beneath it. People begin to notice that calm in you, though they cannot name it. They see only that something radiant moves with you, and they feel safer in its warmth. Without knowing it, they have entered the same celebration, for every act of shared love is another verse of heaven's eternal vow, and when the last light of evening fades and you stand at your window once more, you look out and smile. Somewhere beyond sight, the song still plays, the chorus of angels rejoicing, the vow of unity still echoing. You close your eyes and whisper your answer to that distant call, I remember. I will keep the light. The wind carries your words upward, and somewhere far above, the Archangel smiles. The invitation fulfilled, the promise renewed, heaven and earth, joined forever in the quiet rhythm of love.